Ranking Member of our Oversight and Investigation Subcommittee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank the ranking member. Also would like to thank the persons who are here who call themselves full employment defenders. Welcome. Mr. Chairman, what do you consider full employment? I have the number 5.5%, but if you differ, I'd like to hear your number, please.
If I had to make an estimate, I'd say it's somewhere in the low fours, but I would stress that it could be, what that really means is it could be 5 and it could be 3.5.
Let's take the low fours or 3.5. When is the last time that African American unemployment was in the low fours or 3.5?
I don't think it ever has been in the years we've been measuring it.
Quite frankly speaking, it hasn't been since slavery. That's the last time there was full employment for black people. Mr. Chairman, 6.8% seems to be the lowest number that I can find since we've been keeping numbers. And for the last 47 of the last 54 years, it's always been twice that of white unemployment. Twice. Do you agree?
Do I agree?
Yes, sir. Do you agree that black unemployment is generally speaking twice that of white unemployment?
I think that's what the numbers would support, yes.
Mr. Chairman, do you agree?
I agree, yes.
Okay, thank you.
It's a true statement.
All right, thank you. It's a true statement. Mr. Chairman, do you also agree that invidious discrimination still exists in the United States of America?
I would.
Do you agree that when we've had an opportunity to test banks, we have found that invidious discrimination exists in lending?
Yes.
Do you agree that testing is an effective means by which we can acquire empirical evidence necessary to show that discrimination exists?
I do believe it is used in that way, yes.
Then, Mr. Chairman, would you support legislation to help us acquire the empirical evidence to show that this exists so that we can do something about it? You see, we now know the facts. The question is, what are we going to do about it? Your charge is the promotion of full employment. I take that to mean full employment not just for white people. I take that to mean for everyone. And at some point, black unemployment has to be addressed because it is chronically twice that of white people. And we have to use terms like black people and white people to make the point. And we also have to ask that our friends on the other side join black people in doing something about this. Mr. Chairman, that which we will tolerate, we will not change. We have learned to tolerate African American unemployment being twice that of white unemployment. I refuse to tolerate it. That's why I use language that is clear and concise. There is no question about what I say. The question is, what are we going to do about it? We know that discrimination exists in banking in terms of lending. We know that it exists in other areas of the economy as it relates to African Americans. The question is, what will we do about it? And by the way, I'm not assigning all of the responsibility to you. That's why I mentioned my friends on the other side and my friends on this side. I'm a liberated Democrat. Democrats and Republicans have to do more about black unemployment. And unfortunately, when a black person challenges the system such as I do, it becomes playing the race card. So let me say today that I'm playing the race card because we have for too long allowed this condition to exist. So, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to send you a letter, and in the letter I will request that you explain the role that covert and overt unemployment plays in this issue of black unemployment being twice that of whites. I will ask you to identify the primary factors that limit African Americans' access to employment opportunities in sectors that are protected from cyclical downturns in the economy. And I'm going to ask you, if allowed, would testing provide beneficial empirical data? You've already said that you think it would. I'll ask you to put that in writing, Mr. Chairman. I respect you, and I ask that you be of service to all Americans, not just white Americans. I yield back.
Time of the gentleman has expired. The chair